Hello, and welcome to another edition of Bergen Stage's Television, our entertainment magazine here at Bergen Community College. Currently at the college, we're in rehearsals for a wonderful classical musical called Guys and Dolls. And what better way to talk about the show than with our guests here today, who are the stars of the show. We have Christina Craig playing Sarah Brown, and Matthew Rella, who plays Sky Masterson. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hi,
Thanks for
thank
coming.
you.
It's so great to have you guys. There's so much I want to talk about Guys and Dolls for our audience who might not know it or have seen it once in a while. But first, I want the audience to get to know you just a little bit. So, Christina, where are you from? Where'd you go to high school? How do we get you?
I went to Riverdale High School. Then I came here.
Right. And did you do shows while you were at Riverdale? Were you a performer?
I did. My senior musical was Les Mis. I played Fantine.
Awesome.
It was so much fun.
What a great show.
I've been doing theater since I was 10.
So what was the very first thing? Do you remember the first thing you ever did?
Peter Pan.
Oh, and
I was one of the Lost Boys.
Oh, cool.
I was a twin Lost Boy.
Oh, cool.
And on the first day of rehearsal, I went up to who I thought was my twin, started a whole conversation, but it actually wasn't my twin.
And this is at 10 years old you started?
Yeah.
Oh, that's neat.
I was confused. It was confusing.
But was he okay with that?
Yeah.
Or she?
Yeah. Oh, she.
Oh, okay.
She was like, "Oh, nice to meet you."
But I'm not your twin.
Yeah. Then I came here. I was in Hamlet.
Here at the college, right?
Yes.
And now here we are.
Now here we are. Guys and
Great.
Dolls.
Matthew, how were we so lucky to get you here at the college?
So I'm from Glen Rock. It's about 10 minutes from here. I grew up playing sports mostly. I did a little bit of theater in middle school, but in high school I played sports. I played ice hockey, so I was never really in the theater scene in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I did.
Did the high school have a theater scene? You just weren't
Yes,
able to do it?
very good one too.
Mm-hmm.
There was no way I could fit it in. I mean, hockey was my priority at the time.
And trying to do both is just.
Yeah.
The schedules just overlap and.
Yeah, and the musical was
choice.
always in the winter, which is when hockey really picks up.
Right.
Bummer.
I was able to do one play the end of my senior year.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Shakespeare adaptation of Star Wars. The only reason I did is because I'm the
I've
biggest.
actually heard of that.
Yeah, I'm the biggest Star Wars nerd like ever. So I was like, oh, I'll totally, I'd love to do that.
Oh, how funny.
We went to see also that same year I was in choir. We have a very good choir program at Glen Rock.
So that's where you kept your singing going.
All 4 years I sang, and I was in the school, regular class choir, which put 2 performances a year, but also in the auditioned madrigal choir, it was called, which was about 15 students, and then the full one was about 300. So it was a big choir.
Wow.
And my senior year, we did a Les Mis medley, and I was Valjean. I mean, multiple people sang his songs, but yeah.
But you were kind of the key person playing.
Well, I sang the last little bit.
Oh,
so.
okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool. And so that kept your voice. You obviously had a good voice teacher, or I don't know. Did you do private lessons, or was this just
not private, but
part of the choir?
Very personalized, teaching, which was amazing.
Which helped you to learn to read music and all that
yeah,
sort
we
of
did a
stuff,
lot of
parts and
sight reading and all that, and it was very instrumental.
That's great. And you've got a gorgeous voice. Where did that come from? Not from Peter Pan, I'm sure.
No, I've been singing since I could speak. Honestly.
Wow.
My dad sang all the time. I guess I kind of picked it up from him, but I've had like voice lessons over the year. Bounced around a little bit, but. I don't know, just something I've sort of always been doing.
Did you ever do choir and chorus like
I did do choir. I did choir all 4 years of high school.
Oh, cool. And again, that's part reading, sight singing.
Yeah, that's where I learned to read
music. Which is
music.
so important. And a lot of people think it's just that individual voice lessons, but you learn a lot in a choir.
Absolutely.
You do.
Right?
So do.
I mean, I'm just saying that anything that sticks out that why you would say, yes, join a choir. This is going to be helpful.
Well, you certainly learn balance, tone-wise, and how to blend with the other voices.
Yeah.
You really, everyone in a section singing the same voice part. I guess it helped me learn, how to go between different, notes and keys and stuff like that. It's almost just like you're studying music, but with multiple people singing the same thing, so it's kind of like you have a little safety net almost.
It's cool too. Yeah.
More confidence too. Maybe you don't stick out. I mean, I know at least when I was a freshman or sophomore, I was worried about, like, oh, I don't want people to hear.
I'm going to be too loud, and I need to learn to blend, which is such a tough thing to do.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
then when you're doing a show, you want to have that blend too, until it's time for your solo part to kind of pop out, and then you pull back in into it. So I think, being in a choir, sometimes I tell people, be in a church choir. just get to sing as much as you
Yeah.
can, because you're going to learn so much about reading music,
Absolutely.
different styles of music. So I think that's a valuable experience to have, and both of you did it all through high school, which is incredible. Were they competitive choirs? Did you like do competitions?
Yeah, so we traveled all around the country.
You guys did,
I
yeah.
went to San Diego. I went
Wow.
to Virginia Beach. My freshman year, they went to Orlando, but hockey was very expensive, and my sister was a senior at the time, so it was like one or the other. And I was like, I'm not giving up hockey.
Right.
So
Yeah. Did you guys compete, or did your choir?
My choir didn't.
But a couple of
No.
shows a year at the school. A couple
Yeah,
of,
we
like
did.
a
We did
Christmas
like
and,
annual concerts. We actually, well, back when I lived in Chicago,
Uh-huh.
and I was in choir there too. We had a St. Patrick's Day concert, which was kind of like our big event. Like green everywhere. We did like folk songs and like I don't know, all this cool
so different
old sort
styles of
tunes,
music
yeah.
too. Great.
But we didn't compete or anything.
Uh-huh.
We did shows and that was it. Choir.
So both of you are really musical theater actors. This is kind of what you want to do with your lives. Is that kind of what
Absolutely,
you're doing?
yeah.
So what are you doing now? I know, Matthew, you're leaving us after this semester.
I am. This
You're
is-
off to bigger and brighter things, which we're
Well,
so excited about.
yeah, I'm gonna miss it.
Yeah,
for sure, yeah.
we're going to miss you too. And Christina, we're lucky to have you another year.
Yeah, or maybe longer. Who knows?
Oh, okay. Well, I'll take it. No. Whatever you need.
Right.
So what are you doing now at Bergen, and what did you do, or are you doing that preps you for where you want to go with your career? What are we offering here that's helping?
Well, right now, I think the shows themselves are the biggest help. Because, you know, when you get out there and you're doing theater professionally, it's really the experience you have that's going to help you.
So build up that resume.
Yeah.
Don't be in college and not do shows.
Right.
That resume is such an important part
Yeah,
of
absolutely.
it. Cool. Anything else? Classes? I know you're taking liberal arts because we're a liberal arts college, so you're taking your histories, your math, your English and sciences and all that kind of stuff. And some people go, oh no, I want to go to just a fine arts school and ignore all that stuff. Do you have any thought of, are you happy that it's liberal arts? Or are you saying, I think I fine arts is, I don't want to care about the English and the history. Do you have a thought behind that?
I think it's important to build up your foundation and kind of like everything, you know? Because like, it's like you don't know like what'll help you win. Like even like reading music, you don't realize till you get there how much like math is involved. Like,
Oh, good. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's important to be well-rounded because nothing can hurt you.
Cool. And maybe the history that you read is going to help the character that you're going to play.
Yeah,
And-
exactly.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the same thing. I mean, I think it's really important to be well-rounded. As actors, I feel it's a very academic profession. Your literature and English and even history, it's very important. I mean, I pull from, everything I've learned into a lot of my characters, and I try and think, well, what is this time period like, and
Cool.
and stuff like that. And I mean, I just think it's important, math and science and stuff like that. I mean, I enjoy those classes. I look forward to them.
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Good. So I'm hearing pro-liberal arts, which is great. And yes, and even in dancing, you have to count to 8. So
Exactly.
math is
You have to
involved.
count to 8.
Math is involved in that. So I guess, Matt, I know that you're looking at other schools after you finish here. We won't jinx it, so we won't talk about where you're thinking about going, but you're going to further with a bachelor's degree is your hope
Yes.
to finish your
Yes.
degree there. Christina, what do you, sorry, I put words in your mouth. I know what you're going to do.
Go for
What is your thought after you finish Bergen?
When I leave Bergen, I'll definitely be getting a bachelor's degree. Kind of still figuring out where I want to go and exactly what area I want to study, but that's another great reason to be at Bergen. You have all the time to
Figure that out while you're going there and sit in Jim's office and talk
Right,
about
and
it
talk to
see,
Jim.
see what happens along the way there. Cool. So, this is going to be interesting because I've never asked this to a guest before. If you had an opportunity to talk to your younger self, what advice about theater would you give them?
Ooh, I have a great one for
Good,
this.
go for it.
I would say don't try to sound like everyone else. Because I remember listening to big time Broadway stars and learning from them, which is great because you should look up to these people, kind of take what they do and do that. But I think the mistake I always made was oh, well, Idina Menzel is so good, I should try and sound like Idina
Mimic
Menzel.
exactly like Idina Menzel, but we
Yeah.
already have an Idina Menzel.
Yeah, so what I would tell my younger self is you need to just take what you learned and make it your own because it's your own sound that's going to get you somewhere.
Awesome. Good. This is great advice for our younger viewers that
Yeah.
are watching this going, well, why should I do that? Good. Matthew, anything that pops into your
Um,
inner self? Matthew.
experience and engulf yourself in art. I didn't, when I came to Bergen, I actually didn't know that theater was entirely what I wanted to do. I mean, I spent the whole summer after graduating thinking I was going to, an engineering school in Florida and, big expensive school. I was going to have tons of loans and didn't know anyone there. I was like, how am I going to live there and all that? And one day I just woke up and I was like, that's not me.
Yeah.
I mean, there was something else there. I mean, I'd always loved theater. I grew up, my dad was a stage actor.
Right.
So I grew up listening to Guys and Dolls, 42nd Street, and, West Side Story. And I knew that, I knew it was like, that's what I need to do.
Do you think your sports helped you with your performing? Do you think there's some tie-in between being an athlete and being a performer in any way?
Well, on the surface, I think just athleticism. I mean, dances, I think people who don't do dance don't realize how it is. It is
it looks
sport.
easy, but
it is absolutely a sport.
Yeah.
I've gone to dance calls, dance auditions where after a few minutes I'm sweating. It's
and there's a lot of teamwork. I mean, you're there helping the team just like you do as a cast. You're part of the cast and helping the cast there. So there's that effort of saying, well, wait, we're all in this together. Yeah. We're doing a show or we're doing a game and we're here to be in the game.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of it is moving as a unit, and I think I've learned that in sports.
Which is important. Did you play sports at all? Did you have time?
Actually, when I was younger and I lived in Houston, I did I did martial arts. I did
cool.
Taekwondo for a really long time.
Wow. That seems to be more individualized than group kind of stuff like that.
Yeah, we had like a team, like a little community within the school, but it's very much yourself.
Yeah, being prepped for it, which is great. Well, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to talk more about Guys and Dolls and what's going on with Sky and Sarah in this production. So please come up right back, and we will talk some more with Matt and Christina about Guys and Dolls.
From intimate black box performances in the Ender Hall Lab Theater to full-scale musical productions in the Anna Maria Saccone Theater, come to Bergen Community College at 400 Paramus Road in Paramus, New Jersey. For tickets or more information, call the box office at 201-447-7428 or visit us at tickets.bergen.edu. We'll be seeing you on Bergen stages.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly,
disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness. I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Hello, and welcome back to Bergen Stages Television. I'm Jim Baumgartner, your host. We've been talking with Matthew Rella and Christina Craig, the stars of our upcoming production of Guys and Dolls. And guys, we talked about your past in the first part of the program, but I want to talk about the show and the characters and the wonderful music in this particular musical. A lot of people know this show, but for those that don't, can you tell us a little bit about the plot? What the heck is this show about? Matthew's going to take it away.
So, we're introduced to this amazing, almost cartoonish scene in New York City.
Right, Damon Runyon.
Right,
it's these characters
yes.
that Damon Runyon wrote about.
Right.
Yeah.
And so there's a big group of gamblers who are in town, and our first main character we see is Nathan Detroit.
Right.
And he sets up the crap games.
Because they all are there to play craps.
Yes.
And he has a floating crap game.
Right, that moves from place to place.
to place.
And so he has to find a new location. And so there's a big game. I mean, all the big gamblers are in town, and they're looking for action. And so he's got to find a spot for it, but the police are breathing down his neck. They're right on, and they know that he's trying to set something up. So a lot of his usual locations he can't use. And he finds a place that might be suitable, but they need
It's gonna cost
$1,000.
him.
It
Needs
needs
him $1,000
in
and Nathan
advance.
don't got it.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So he doesn't have it. So he's trying to find the fastest way, and he meets his old friend Sky Masterson,
Who's a high roller? Who's
big time high roller. I'll bet he'll bet on anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so Nathan says, "I'll bet him. I'll try and find a bet that I can make with him."
And the bet that he finally gets is.
He says that Sky is going to Havana
Uh-huh.
that night, and he says that you can't take any girl to Havana. I bet you can't take a certain girl to Havana.
Uh-huh.
And so the girl that he picks, Nathan picks, is Miss Sarah Brown, who is the head of the mission.
Great. So tell us about why you would be a tough pick to take to Havana.
Well, Sarah Brown is the head of the mission in New York City. She spends her entire days on the streets trying to get gamblers to come into her mission and repent.
Mm-hmm.
So she's not the kind of girl who goes off to Havana with a rich gambler she just met.
Uh-huh. So he schmoozes her. He comes in with this, oh, I'm a sinner routine to try to get her to go.
Yep.
And is she easily won over?
Certainly not. No, she's got a strong charisma, and she's. I think it takes a little while to realize.
You end up chasing her all through the streets of New York to make this sort of thing happen. Along the way, we do meet Adelaide, Nathan's fiance, who they've been engaged for 14 years, and he won't marry her until he feels like he can support her and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's been taking a while there. So we get to meet Adelaide, which is wonderful, with the Hotbox girls and the routine. And then finally, what finally persuades him for you to go? Because you do go. It's a plot giveaway, but you do go to Havana.
Well, my mission isn't getting enough sinners, so our director decides that they want to close the mission down. But Sky here has promised me that he can get me 12 genuine sinners on the night when I need them for our meeting the most.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, well, all you have to do, you have to come to Havana with me. So I go for the mission, I think.
And for the mission at first.
Yeah.
But you have a good time in Havana. And well, we won't get into Havana, but it ends up being a lot more fun than you thought it was going to be. And then you come back, and this is like the end of Act 1 that you come back from Havana. What has changed in the relationship by the time you get back?
Well, I think by the time we get back, kind of like in Havana, it's like this whirlwind of everything, so our true colors kind of show, and we realize how much we actually care about each other.
So there's some of the...
I think the dynamic certainly changes.
Certainly does. Certainly does change. But unfortunately, right at that moment, they have been using the mission for a crap game, which you find out, and all the crap shooters are running out before the cops get in there, and your thought is...
He was distracting me.
He knew it. Yeah, let's get her out to Havana so we can use the mission for a crap game, which, of course, she didn't even give you a minute to even explain yourself there. So, and that gets us through Act 1. It's such a great act.
Yeah.
By the time we get to Act 2, a little time has passed, and still you haven't been able to talk. But I think this love is there, and you're just, trying to suppress it.
Yeah, because she's hurt, because she went away and she truly fell for him, and then she comes back and she thinks, oh, he just set all of us up to trick me, and I've been played a fool.
So your alternative is to do what?
Well, I want to fulfill my, my promise.
It's a marker.
Yeah.
And if a gambler gives a marker,
You
they're
have
going to
to
live up to
fulfill
it.
it,
So you
yeah.
said I was going to do it, by gosh, and she kept her end of it by going to Havana with you.
Absolutely.
So you've got to keep your end. So.
Right. So I have to get the dozen sinners to come to the meeting because obviously, I still care about her, and I feel like that's going to be the way to maybe kind of rekindle what we had. At the very least, I want to fulfill my, my promise.
Your obligation, yeah.
So I find the crap game. Sky finds where the crap game is that night, and
which happens to be
the sewer.
In the sewer of New York.
Sewer, yep. And I find a way to guarantee that there will be a dozen sinners at the meeting.
Good, good. And so this is where the wonderful Luck Be a Lady is sung, one of the classic songs from the show, Luck Be a Ladies. So it happens, the gamblers show up at the mission. You find out something important in that mission after everybody's left and songs have been sung. What do you find out?
Well, in the beginning, when Nathan bet Sky that he couldn't take Sarah to Havana, obviously Sky wins the bet, he takes Sarah to Havana, but he tells Nathan that he didn't. And he gives him the $1,000, tells Nathan, you won. So to me, that was kind of like, oh, it was like a nice gesture.
Yeah, exactly. This wasn't,
Yeah, like I could see, like, I can see like his true intent there.
Cool, cool, cool. And so you go looking for him.
Yeah.
And then you have an interesting song, which my musical theater historian goes into this one, but I won't bog you down with that. So we have Adelaide and Sarah singing a song together. What is the song?
The song is called "Marry the Man Today."
And
when we finally meet up there, she had just come from a big fight with Nathan. I, of course, am in a fight with Sky. And we're just kind of like, what are we going to do with our men? And they're like, you know what? The song is basically, let's just lock them down, get married, and then we'll tweak everything later. We'll figure it out later.
We'll figure it out later. But the importance of marriage, and that's why I tease about the history. This is post-World War II, early 50s that this musical came out, and the thought that a woman needed to get married. And that's just kind of a big part of it. And if you'll make them what you need later, you'll mold them later. And so that's what you sing, which is a classic song. So this musical is filled with such great musicals, songs. We talk Luck Be a Lady. You guys sing a couple of duets together. What do you sing? You sing in the first scene, you sing
I'll Know.
I'll Know, right together, about your dream person that you sing there. Then you have My Time of Day.
I've never been in love
I've never been in love before.
I sing If I Were a Belle.
That's, If I Were a Belle. Yes, that's your Havana song. Then we also have Bushel and a Peck, Take Back Your Mink, Sit Down Your Rock in the Boat. It is just filled with such classic, great songs in there. So how are rehearsals going for you guys? I must admit, I'm director of the show, so I'm biased, so but you can say anything you want at this point. We have been in rehearsal for a few weeks. How's it going?
That's terrible.
Don't say that though.
No, it's been truly amazing. This is a show that I've grown up listening to and I have always loved, and it's been a dream of mine to play Sky. It's a role that anyone would love to have, and same with Sarah. It's an amazing role, and I'm just really excited to bring it to life.
And rehearsals are going well. I think you guys know where we are in the process.
Yeah, working hard, which is important, and everyone's really putting in work, dancing and learning their music and stuff.
And it's a large ensemble. I mean, there's 28 in the cast, which is quite large. There's 16 gamblers, so it's a huge group there. You guys really spend more time with each other than you do with the rest of the cast, if I can remember right. You're just kind of, there's Sky and Sarah again. Oh, okay, they leave, and now the gamblers all come out and do something. But so it's kind of interesting. And you work with Elliot, who's Arvide, sings a wonderful "More I Cannot Wish" song about I want you to have what you want, what your dreams come true, and that's kind of wonderful too. So what happens now? What do you, as an actor, do between where we are now in the rehearsal process and opening night? What do you?
Well, right now it's kind of about memorizing those lines.
There's that.
Songs, blocking, but once
you guys are great. You almost come to rehearsal with them down, which is a director's dream to come in and a producer's dream. I play with both hats, but that you're already doing that. So that's so cool because that makes it fun.
Right. Well, once we get that down, I think it really comes down to the characters, like what they're feeling in that moment. Like you look at our relationships and it's really about like how do we portray like what exactly is going on. So like
intentions.
So like it's effective to like the audience.
I think obviously on the surface, getting those lines down and learning your music and blocking, but I think beneath that, just really kind of continue to grow this character, and theater is about theater. Reflects life, and it's really just experiences and kind of finding the right emotions and saying, real life, this is the way life is, and kind of finding that through the character.
Do you find these to be complicated, layered characters?
Oh, yeah.
I think, there's definitely layers to them. And
there's things to find out. A lot of people think, musical theater, you're just a caricature. But I think there's a lot in a musical that people don't understand.
And you discover a lot along the way.
And you both did Hamlet. So you came from something that you had to do a lot of lines to learn, but you also had to find these characters. Do you find there's any similarity to acting in a Shakespearean play and acting in a musical theater piece?
I think you definitely see it. Especially because, Shakespeare, like, whoa. Like Like, he's kind of like, I guess, like the role model you, like, look up to. But, what you really see is a lot of people have, like, the same emotions, the same feelings. And it's all about, I guess, kind of like how their journey makes those present. So back in Hamlet, everything was a bit more dramatized, a bit more sad. And here, Guys and Dolls is big.
But you go through those emotional things like that.
You still go through them.
It seems like the arc of Hamlet starts going down.
Right.
It just kind of keeps going in that direction. Where this at least is coming here, kind of has spikes and peaks and valleys along the way there. You don't get what you want by the end of the first act. Oh, we went to Havana. Yay, we love each other. That's the end. But it's not. It's like now they're going to throw a little sidebar at you. Yeah.
So you see like those similar patterns.
Yeah. I think it's a lot about something that I see in both is really dissecting the text. The lines wouldn't be in there if they weren't there for a reason. And
so dissecting a Shakespearean text as well as musical theater.
Absolutely. And each line has a purpose, and each character has an emotion that goes with that and a thought process. In Shakespeare, it's a little more, maybe it meanders a little more before it gets to where the actor can really show what they're feeling. But it's the same,
That's interesting. Yeah, and I think that's right. I think the writer, the book writer, had to sit down and decide to take things out and say, no, we need to keep that piece in. So each word is its important word there. And speaking of words, one of the most beautiful songs in this show is the one you sing towards the end of Act 2 when you kind of profess your love to each other there. I've never been in love before, which is great words, and that's a great point of us understanding about both your characters at this point. Will they, will they, will they? Oh, they did. That's what we're kind of happy about, but it's not the climactic moment. It would be in any other story if you stop there, but it doesn't because of the raid happening and you're thinking, he tricked you. So we're fortunate you guys have agreed to sing I've Never Been in Love Before. So this is, this song comes at the end of Act 1. You've come back from Havana and you've discovered this about each other. So we're just going to let you guys sing this for it. So here's Matthew Rella and Christina Craig singing I've Never Been in Love Before from our production of Guys and Dolls.
I've never been in love before. Now all at once it's you forevermore. I've never been in love before. I thought my heart was safe. I thought I knew the score. But this is wine that's all too strange and strong. I'm full of foolish song, and out my song must pour. So please forgive this helpless haze I'm in. I've really never been in love before.
Absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much. And thank you for watching the show. Guys and Dolls will open on April 6th and run till April 14th in the Saccone Theater. Tickets are on sale at tickets.bergen.edu. We got a great set, costumes, lights, sounds, props, everything for you to enjoy. And just coming up, right? So you guys break a leg with the show. Thank you for being on the show today, and thank you all for watching.